Hello and welcome to Everyone Can Garden. This week we're going to look at the okra seeds that we planted last week. We planted about 7 seeds. Now we're going to see whether it has germinated or not. From what I have read, it should take between 2 to 12 days for the seed to germinate. We're going to have a look at the seeds, and this week also we're going to see how we're going to repot our tomato plants. Last week I showed you that I had 5 tomato plants, and I told you that this week I'm going to repot the tomato plants into the pot when the weather has changed to a beautiful one. Now I feel the weather now is fantastic for us to start repotting, and here we go. Now here's where we planted the okra seeds. I can't find any of the seeds that has germinated so far today. We planted last Sunday. This is the 7th day. So far none. Now I'm not sure whether this is going to be successful or not, but we're going to try it out. This is all about trial and error. Anyone who watches these should not feel that this is always going to be a success story. Let's see next week. Okay, so here we are. We are going to repot the tomato plant that I showed you last week. Well, what I'm going to try this week is all about big pots, because those are all the big tomatoes. So what I'm trying to do today is to use a composition of soil. I have a bag there, those soil that I have used last planting session, and then I have a blue color pail here. This is a fresh compost that I have done from last year to this year, the beginning of this year. So this is very fresh. And then I have a bag of used worm castings. And so I'm going to use the 3 composition, and the composition is going to work like 3/4 of the used soil, and then the remainder of the 1/4 would be the worm casting plus the compost that I have made myself. All right, so let's get going. So this is the composition of the old soil which I've used last year. This is my compost. If you look at it, how rich. Really smells fresh. I'm going to try this out first time this year using my own compost. I'm mixing the soil. And now I'm going to use 1.5 of worm castings. All right, okay, so we're going to choose one. Here we go. First, remove it from the bag. Break the soil a bit, because the roots have to spread, otherwise the roots don't spread. So I'm going to make a small hole here, right in the middle. It's not exactly in the middle. I guess I'll move it to the middle. So here we go, one done. We're going to water it later. Here's the second one. Okay, so I've done all the repotting. Here are the 5 pots. So this is the space which I've mentioned in the first video, and I've arranged it here so that the plants get the nice weather as well as good sunlight. So let's see how this grows. I'm not going to water this now because it's hot sun, and I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to water it in the evening when the sun sets. So yeah, that's it for this week, and then next week also we're going to see how the okra seeds have, whether or not the okra seeds have germinated or it's rotten. So we're going to test that one out, and if it is rotten, we're going to replant it. All right, that's it. Thank you very much, and see you next in Anyone Can Garden.